It's time for the main event. Budweiser, the king of beers, presents USA's Tuesday night fights. A scheduled 12-rounder between two former world champions, Kennedy McKinney versus Hector Acero Sanchez. They are two warriors tonight fighting for their boxing lives. There's a world title fight out there for the winner. McKinney, the gold medal Olympian who reigned as IBF champ for 2 years, then immortalized himself in defeat with a never-say-die slugfest against Marco Antonio Barrera. Acero Sanchez, slick as can be, took the WBC crown away from Tracy Patterson. He held on for a couple of fights before losing the title on a split decision to Daniel Zaragoza. Tonight, ex-champs, quick, smart, throw down the gauntlet, knowing that the first one who blinks in the ring may be finished.
My thing is to go out and just put the jab on him and back him up and outbox him. I mean, it's not gonna be a slugfest. It's gonna be two boxers trying to outwit each other. And I think by him being out the ring for 11 months, that's the difference in the fight.
No le sé decir por qué se hincha tan fácil.
I don't know why he swells up, but he's been swelling up in his last 4 fights. That's our game plan, to go and work it. I have a good jab, a good strong jab, and a good right hand. And that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to stay on top of him with good combinations, and he'll swell up. And if he swells up like we're counting on, it might not even go 12 rounds.
Acero Sanchez thinks that Kennedy McKinney has taken too much punishment. Meanwhile, McKinney thinks his opponent is rusty from 11 months off. So who has the edge going into this one?
Well, both of these fighters know how to fight. They're both boxers. I think the real edge in this fight comes down to Kennedy McKinney. He seems to have a little bit more power than Sanchez. Sanchez, of course, takes a good shot, as both fighters do. I expect to see a terrific matchup, a very technical fight between two world-class fighters.
Well, Kennedy McKinney has had some success when he turns it on and decides to slug with an opponent. Do you think he'll try to bring Acero Sanchez into that kind of a fight?
I know he will try to bring Acero Sanchez
even though he says he won't.
Yeah, I know he will, because that's the way that Acero Sanchez does not like to fight. Sanchez likes to move. He likes to stay on the outside. He likes to try to pick his opponents apart. McKinney will try to drag him into a slugfest and really kind of beat him at his own game.
When he owned the world title, taking it from Tracy Patterson, he then fought to a draw with Daniel Zaragoza and then lost to Zaragoza in a split decision. In both of those fights, Zaragoza put the pressure on. And you know, McKinney has to have seen those fights and knows that he could have success if he can do that against Sanchez.
Yeah, well, McKinney, a slick boxer puncher. He has the ability to brawl if he needs to. He prefers to box, but in this fight, I am confident that he is going to have to brawl. Sanchez is too slick. He likes to move on the outside too much.
All right, let's say take a look at the Castrol Syntec tail of the tape and see how these two fighters size up for this one. Both around that 122 limit, and the reach is the factor. Acero Sanchez says he will give McKinney a boxing lesson. Jab, jab, jab. He's been working out, throwing 60, 65 jabs around in sparring, and that's what he will send McKinney's way. The USBL rules, standing 8 count is not in effect. 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. You cannot be saved by the bell. Scoring on the 10-point must scoring system. Here's the champ on the blackboard.
Meineke Discount Muffler presents the boxing blackboard. Kennedy McKinney. His strengths, being an all-around pro, he has a good style and has faced stiff opposition. His weaknesses, inconsistent. He seems to fall asleep in fights. Tough fights and drug abuse could have drained Kennedy. Can he stay focused against Hector Acero Sanchez? His strengths, with accomplished boxing skills, he sets a good pace and has a solid chin. Hector's weaknesses, tall and slender, he lacks strength. Off almost a year, he has ring rust. Can he take the USBA title from the champ tonight?
We are live from the Medieval Times here in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, as Murad Muhammad and M&M Sports, in association with Budweiser, the king of beers, proudly present USA Network's Tuesday Night Fights main event. It's the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship. is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. The Honorable Larry Hazard, Senior Commissioner. The Honorable Jerry Gormley, Chairman. Members of the board include Gary Shaw and Stephen Katz. Our Deputy Commissioner is John Greco. Is sanctioned by the USBA. The supervisor in charge at ringside from Fanwood, New Jersey is Darrell Peoples. Our judges for this evening's title fight, Melvina Lathan from Ardsley, New York, Joe Pasquale from Trenton, New Jersey, and Shafiq Rashada from Edison, New Jersey. In the ring at this time, the man in charge of the scheduled 12-round title bout, referee Rudy Battle from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First in the red corner, wearing the white trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at 121.5 pounds. This young man is currently ranked number 4 by the WBC. He has 33 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws with 21 knockouts. The former WBC Super Bantamweight champion, a native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic, and now making his home in the Bronx, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the challenger, Hector Acero Sanchez. And his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the rust trunks with the silver trim. He weighed in at an even 122 pounds. Now this young man has 30 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw with 17 knockouts. He is currently ranked number 3 by both the IBF and the WBA. The former IBF junior featherweight champion, all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. He is the USBA junior featherweight champion. Here is Kennedy, the King McKinney. Clear the ring, please. Clear the ring.
Everybody out. All right, there, here we go. All right,
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your pre-fight instructions. I want to caution you and warn you that there is a language barrier, so I'll be using the basic commands: stop, break, and box. I want a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Touch gloves.
Not what you would call a stare down. They'll be staring at one another soon enough. Kenny McKinney trying to get his world title back from Vuyani Bungo, who took it from him as he was in South Africa for a fight a month ago, lost a disputed split decision on the road, felt he should be world champion again, and he decided to come back very quickly. He says he didn't want that loss to sit too long. He didn't want to hear the whispers that he's wearing down or he's finished. He felt he was in shape, in good condition, wanted to pick it up from there, and also going up against Hector Acero Sanchez, really banking that Sanchez is rusty from an 11-month layoff, and felt that Hector, also not known as a big puncher, and felt to go right at a guy who's ranked number 4 in the world right here to vault himself into another world title fight. And the man he has circled is Junior Jones, the WBO champ. This is actually Junior Jones sweepstakes. Both fighters want to vault from this one as a victor and go on to face Junior Jones.
And both fighters coming off of a loss, and the best way to get that loss off your back is to get back into a fight and get a win. And they both realize that. Kennedy McKinney said, I'm going to try in this fight to impose my will. He says, if I have to slug, I will. And Acero Sanchez knows only one way to fight, and that is to box. He says his plan tonight is to jab him, stay on top using the jab, try to swell him up. He had seen other fights, that fight with Bungo you talked about at McKinney, where McKinney swelled up around the eyes. He's going to try to swell up McKinney's eyes and take him out of this fight.
It's not that Acero Sanchez was lying in bed at home watching TV for 11 months. He has had 3 fights fall through. He has been training. He is in condition. And what about letdowns of those fights falling through?
It's so emotional. Boxing, you start training for one fight, and you get all prepared for it, and then all of a sudden the fight falls through. Your training has all gone for naught, and you have to start all over again, try to rebuild. And then the minute you get out of shape is the minute the phone rings for a call. Somebody wants a title fight or a big important fight for you. So you got to stay sharp. There's a good sharp right hand from Sanchez. Sanchez, not a power hitter. He does have 21 KOs in his 33 wins. McKinney, 17 KOs in his 30 wins.
There is the jab. Carol Sanchez going upstairs at McKinney.
Well, McKinney better get started. McKinney standing around in this first round. You know, in those 12-round fights especially, sometimes you start off real slow and build to a crescendo. But you can't take too many punches early in a fight. The fight isn't going to go 12 rounds.
Cero Sanchez banking on the fact that Kenny McKinney has taken too many punches, but McKinney says, I haven't taken too much punishment. I just had 2 wars, the Barrera fight and the first fight that vaulted him into the crown against Welcome Nikita. Only 2. Others will disagree. Today, Kennedy McKinney's mom and stepdad celebrating their birthdays. Yesterday, he and his wife Billy celebrating their 2nd wedding anniversary. I guess the celebration actually will be waited until tomorrow when Kennedy gets back home to Memphis, Tennessee.
That's why he has to fight tonight. He has to pay for all those celebrations. His family, time of the year, it's tough for him. He took another stiff right hand from Sanchez. Sanchez has a sneaky, quick right hand that he throws nicely over the left. See where the left hand of Kennedy McKinney is? It's right in front of the point of his chin. It's in a dangerous position. But that's a position that Sanchez is zeroing in on, and he's scoring there.
Sanchez hearing it from the chanting fans. National hero in Santo Domingo.
Sanchez.
But he's been fighting out of the Bronx here in New York City since 1993. Big records, 2 former world champions. Cero Sanchez lost the title in November of '97, split decision to Daniel Zaragoza. Came back with 1 win, and then in June of '96, his last fight, fought undefeated Eric Morales for the NABF title and lost a 12-round fight, although claiming afterwards that he had 104-degree fever, fighting it outside in Las Vegas at 120-degree temperatures.
I was there that night. It was hot. And he was, like he is in this fight, moving. He wasn't throwing punches when he was moving in that fight. He did everything he could in that fight just to go the 12-round distance. Eric Morales, a good-looking young fighter on his way up. He was 22-0, 18 KOs when they fought.
Right now, Kennedy McKinney not exactly putting the pressure on. Just trying to get the gauge of Cero Sanchez for a few rounds.
Yeah, still the 2nd round, still plenty of time. You want to turn up the heat a little bit each round and not get in too big of a hurry. Many times you let your opponent spend all of his energy in those first 3 rounds, and then he's yours. Then you have him where you want him. But if Cero Sanchez comes into this fight in terrific condition,
Kenny McKinney of 260 amateur fights with just 10 defeats. Went on to win the gold medal in Seoul in 1988. World champion with 5 successful defenses. And we'll pause now for a word from your local cable systems. Tiger Martinez, who is in the corner of Hector Acero Sanchez, another world contender, managed by Nelson Fernandez in that stable.
his idol is Hector.
Anybody with a name
Camacho.
Anybody with a name of Hector.
Yeah, he wants anybody working his way to the Camacho corner. He'd love to be over there.
Mr. Morales also. Hector Lopez, one of his favorite.
All their ball players, all his fans. He's a fan of all of them.
He's their greatest fan. And a fan is exactly what we need right here. Now, it's getting hot in medieval times.
They didn't have any fans in medieval times.
Just a lot of supporters came out to the events. This is the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship. 30-3, Kennedy McKinney throwing a draw. And 33-4-3, Hector Acero Sanchez, both the age of 31.
Look at the movement from both of these fighters. The foot movement from Sanchez, the body movement from McKinney. See McKinney too this round putting more pressure on. But he can't be following around Sanchez. What he has to do is slide over, cut the ring off, and keep Sanchez from moving. Look at these fast hands from Hector.
Break. Come on.
Fast hands and then a tie up on the inside. Good work. Spins out of the corner.
Both fighters promising to give a boxing lesson to one another. We may see a slugging lesson next week. This begins our cavalcade of heavyweight champions. Former heavyweight champ Buster Douglas next week on Tuesday Night Fights in our main event. And he'll be taking on Louis Monaco, who comes in with a very modest record of 6 wins and 6 defeats. But there's an asterisk. Comes off a win over another former heavyweight champ, Michael Dokes. And also he stopped hot prospect Kevin McBride recently. So Monaco, a late bloomer, trying to make a name for himself. And then in 2 weeks, right here, in medieval times, Larry Holmes, who continues on. 20 seconds and counting in round number 3.
This one heating up. Championship bouts don't start going to the 3rd round. And McKinney knows that. A couple of good right hands from Sanchez. Sanchez, another good round from him, though. He is on his bicycle. McKinney's trying to stand up. He's too far away, though.
Larry Holmes looking for an opponent. He doesn't want to play this guy on the basketball court, but he'll get him in the ring. Villanova star Tim Thomas, who is entering the NBA draft. And stopping in here in Lyndhurst, New Jersey for a night of Tuesday Night Fights. Now we know why Larry's here early. He's looking for opponents. And now flashing out that jab, Acero Sanchez. 2 former world champs at the age of 31, and they know the story tonight. Not much time ahead. They've got to get through one another to still have the hopes of nailing another world championship fight.
They know the story and they know the importance of this fight, a stepping stone. In fact, coming into this fight, Sanchez said, I don't care about this fight as much because it would be a stepping stone to a world title fight.
Larry Holmes in 2 weeks, Buster Douglas next week. Buster, they come back after 6 years off, won 4 straight. The David and Goliath story next week in the main event. Larry Holmes, actually his opponent at this point scheduled to be Ross Parody. So that's the lineup next couple of weeks, right here on the Tuesday Night Fights. Halfway through round number 4.
Oh, this is how a boxer can be effective. These nice moves from Sanchez. He is scoring. Yes, he's boxing, but he's moving around. Look at that jab from him. He's still scoring even though he's boxing. So many fighters think that just running around they should get points or get freedoms for just moving around in the ring. That doesn't score points. There's a good combination from him. The 1-2, and he's landed that throughout the first 3 and now into this 4th round. The jab and the right hand over the top. McKinney carries that left hand low, but you won't find a tougher fighter in Kennedy McKinney. He will be there all night and give it 100%.
His finest hour was in defeat, going down 5 times against Marcos Ontario. Try that again. Try that again. Very slowly. Okay. Marco Antonio Barrera. Very good. Spots. You should only go with 2 names. Very impressed. But actually having Barrera down late in that fight after he was down several occasions.
He said, that's where I got my guts, from a fight with Barrera.
USA's Tuesday night fights, the main event for the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship. Kenny McKinney holds that title after his Barrera fight. Came back 3 months later and beat Johnny Lewis to win the title. This is actually McKinney's 2nd tour of duty as a USBA champ. He used this title to emerge as he beat Trigger Baby Rojas back in '92, and that moved him into his World Championship fight against 31-0 welcome Nikita. A fight in which McKinney was down early, was being beaten on all cards when he knocked out Nikita with 1 punch in the 11th round. So Kennedy McKinney with the flair for the dramatic. That's how he won the title. Right now, we've got the champ in the corner of Hector Acero Sanchez with Nelson Fernandez. Champ?
Nelson, this is an example of Acero Sanchez winning a fight by boxing. What do you see?
I see what I told you, Sean. We have the best boxer in this division in the world, and he's proving it tonight. We don't go after the number 40, number 50. We went after who they said was the best, and we're giving him a boxing lesson.
Yeah, you think you are confusing McKinney?
Well, I think the speed of Hector has confused McKinney and will confuse anyone.
But you see more pressure right now from McKinney. Is that going to affect your fighter?
Remember, Hector's a good counterpuncher, Sean.
Yeah, but how do you handle that pressure?
Well, he's got the best jab in the business. There it is. With a good jab and staying off that corner. He's got to get off that corner.
Where did McKinney go wrong? He's not trying to box as he said he would do. Is that a problem for him?
I think McKinney came into this fight thinking that 1 punch would knock out Hector Acero Sanchez, and he knows better now.
How about the next few rounds? What are you going to try to have Hector do?
Well, Hector, this round, I don't want him to go into these exchanges. Hector's going back to what he does best, is a good
from the pressure of McKinney.
So the pressure, you'll stop the pressure with a good jab, and that's what he's got.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. All right, Nelson, you got to work on the jab. He's going to get it out. He's got a terrific jab, and McKinney is there for the taking. Al?
All right, champ, here in round number 5. And you know that Nelson Fernandez talking about Acero Sanchez as they set up a fight plan. In studying the tapes of McKinney, felt that his face was swelling up in his last 4 fights. Face really starting to take the punishment over the years, and that's what they're trying to do, box him, the jab upstairs. And as you can see, there is the swelling. And now Acero Sanchez turned around. Rudy Battle steps between the two. But you can see the swelling around in the face area of Kennedy McKinney, and we've only gone 5 rounds. Look at the eyes starting to close up on McKinney.
Well, McKinney has been looking for the opportunities to hit Sanchez. Sanchez turned his back. McKinney let him have it. Here's the 1 shot I got. You're standing still. Your eyes are not on me. I'm going to let you have it.
That may have actually been the cleanest shot that McKinney got at Acero Sanchez's face from behind.
Sanchez is so hard to fight.
That's what you call a hook. Acero Sanchez in and out. Now McKinney at 31 says it's not too late for his style to still evolve. He's trying to become more of an aggressive boxer, he says, to move forward, not be all over the place. He's tired of getting some raw decisions. He's basically talking about his 2 defeats to Vuyani Bungu to lose his title in August of '94, and then the rematch a month ago. Both of the fights in Bungu's hometown in South Africa.
Yeah, they said if they had been here in the United States, I'd have won. But we'd like to have another fight with him here in the U.S. He is having so much trouble with the speed of Sanchez. If McKinney would go down to the body for a few rounds, he might take some of that speed away. There's a good right hand from Kennedy. Sanchez cannot get excited.
McKinney feels with his name, with his history, that he becomes the best payday out there for WBO champion Junior Jones. But if he is pecked apart here by acero Sanchez, McKinney won't get to that fight.
Sanchez thinks he would be the best payday for Junior Jones. But they both want him. He's the WBO champion. The IBF is Bungu, Biyani Bungu you talked about. The WBC is Zaragoza. Antonio Cimino is the WBA champion.
And they're both thinking, you know why they feel that Jones is the best opponent of all of them? Because that's the biggest payday for both of these fights.
Money rules in this sport.
Sanchez, when he was champion, says that he had signed a deal to give Jones a shot at his WBC crown, but then lost the title along the way to Zaragoza before he would meet Jones. So he's just asking for reciprocation.
Oh, good right hand from McKinney. Zaragoza is just a tough warrior. Oh, brawler, mauler, just a little machine-type fighter.
And a guy who's very hard to remove from his feet. Down a couple occasions in his 40-fight pro career. We'll pause now for a word from your local cable systems.
Sneaky overhand right. Crack, and there it is. Just on the inside from McKinney. Sanchez cannot get lazy with his punches or with his movement. He has frustrated McKinney. He's got McKinney reaching. He's got McKinney following him. He is out jabbing McKinney. Jab is so important in a fight. And Sanchez says that he has a terrific jab. He's a fighter that he says is adaptable in the ring and extremely defensive-minded. He doesn't like to get hit. McKinney says his style is an aggressive boxer. Says the jab is paramount.
Break. Let him go. That's the back in.
He said, you'll see my jab tonight. My best punch is the right cross, says McKinney.
Well, acero Sanchez, champ, has to go into this fight figuring it's very difficult to knock McKinney out. But over 12 rounds, we can have box him, win it on the cards, or just try to cut him up upstairs, but the fight would be stopped.
Oh, good right hand from McKinney.
And that is the tack of acero Sanchez. Hey, McKinney felt that acero Sanchez would be rusty, having not fought in 11 months, not finding that to be true here over the first 7 rounds.
Very sharp in the first 7.
But with McKinney, he may have been using the first half of this fight just to warm up and get into this. He feels he has more of the power. If there is going to be a knockout winner, it would be him.
And he is landing a bit in this round, especially that right hand over the top. You saw that at the first of this round from the last. McKinney is. There it is again. That's the way you kill a jab. When somebody has a real good jab, you go over the top of it, follow it back, and you'll tag your opponent every time, and you stop him from jabbing.
Stepping back, acero Sanchez.
And you stop that. Oh, good right hand. You stop that right hand by doubling up the left jab if you're Sanchez.
McKinney trying to get some shots in. Al Albert with the champ, Sean O'Grady ringside at Medieval Times in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. exchanges to start round number 8. Kennedy McKinney understanding it's time to turn it up. Hector Acero Sanchez, always at a distance. Let's see what they think in the McKinney corner. Champ's there. Champ.
Ronnie Hughes, I see the tempo changing in this fight. What's happening?
Well, we're trying to keep the jab up on him because the guy do a lot of movement, basically up top. So we're trying to aim the jab for a chest. You know what I'm saying? So we can stop from them moving and slow him down.
Back in that 8th round, Ken, I saw where you landed the jab, or the right hand over the jab, trying to kill the jab. Did that work for you?
Yeah, because he move only one way. He always move to his left side. So we're trying to step right, throw right. Bring the hook back down the middle.
You're tagging him too, Ron.
Yeah. We trying to just punch the jab. Aiming for his chest. You know what I'm saying? To slow him down, slow his head moving down. Because he kind of awkward when he do a whole lot of squatting and moving.
Did you have Sanchez slowed down where you want him now?
Not to the point where we want him there, you know what I'm saying? But we getting him there. You know what I'm saying? We want to destroy him.
You're running out of time, though. What are the next couple of rounds going to bring?
We keep pushing it up on him now, you know what I'm saying? So he's slowing down to see we hit him with a good shot. We hit him with shots now, you know what I'm saying? 7, 8 round, we got 4 more rounds to go. By the 4 rounds, we're going to turn it up on him.
All right, Ron, well, I hope you're in shape because you're getting a good workout over here.
Without a doubt, you know what I'm saying? I work out with him anyway, so we can.
All right, back over to Al.
Wow.
They know what they want over here. They want the pressure like they see at the landing over the top of the jab. More shots.
Let's get Ron in the ring. A lot of energy there in the corner.
We've seen a lot of corner men who could fight tonight.
Inside the final minute of round number 8. So early, very happy in the corner of Acero Sanchez was Nelson Fernandez. Now the corner of Kennedy McKinney. Ron Hughes feels his man is coming on, but they want McKinney to work to the chest of Acero Sanchez, back him up, and just put that jab on him. Target on the face of McKinney. Hector Acero Sanchez sticking to his fight plan, getting the jab out there, going upstairs. The swelling around the eyes of Kennedy McKinney. That's what the Acero Sanchez camp has seen developing in McKinney over the last few fights. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Fights. Both corners very happy. Who do you think's winning?
Well, I think Sanchez has a little bit of an edge, but McKinney is coming on now. I think it's a good time for McKinney. He turned the pace of the fight. He is landing some good, clean, heavy shots, and you see more pressure and more sense of urgency from Kennedy McKinney. He knows the score.
He knows the score not only in this fight.
Yes, and in his career, he realizes the importance of this fight.
You think he said he wants to come back right now off of the fight a month ago in which he lost a disputed split decision in South Africa to Vuyani Bungu for the title. He says he wants to come back quickly. He didn't want to sit around too long, hear the whispers that he's wearing down, he's finished, plus he's in condition. But can you come back too soon from a fight that big and across several oceans into South Africa?
Sure you can come back too quickly, and you see so many fighters who that destroys their career. However, in looking at him in this fight tonight, he has been a little bit slow early in the fight, but he's picking up here. I think he has rebounded comfortably from the Bungu fight, although he's hopefully comes back with a win. And I said earlier, the best way to get a loss off your back and the critics off your back is to come back with a big win, and this would certainly be that for him. However, he may have mopped himself into a corner because Sanchez had a busy 7 rounds in this fight. 7 rounds that I think he won.
So you feel McKinney's really painting himself in a hole?
Yes. Although he does have good power, and he can end this in a knockout.
The odds are not high that Acero Sanchez would, and he has 1 knockout over the course of the last 5 years. a total of 13 fights, last 13 fights. McKinney, the former IBF junior lightweight champion. We'll check that junior featherweight champion. At 5'7½", he actually could put on some weight, but junior featherweight champ, 5 defenses. He lost his title in August of '94, 6 days before Hector Acero Sanchez beat Tracy Patterson to win the WBC version of the junior featherweight crown. Round number 10. And it has turned into what both fighters anticipated. A championship boxing match. This for a USBA junior featherweight title. McKinney with a swing and miss, and then the counter of Acero Sanchez. Oh, that left, and now that swelling under the left eye may become a factor for McKinney. Almost, it may have been ripped open there on that last shot.
Oh boy, it has. Cut underneath the left eye for McKinney. It is a nasty scrape too. Not bleeding, looks more like an abrasion, more like a scrape.
Junior featherweights in the main event tonight. Next week, former heavyweight champion Buster Douglas will head the card against a late blooming heavyweight in Louis Monaco. Buster now 4-0 in his comeback. And can certainly put himself very much in the heavyweight picture as he continues on. So Acero Sanchez hanging to the plan.
And having a pretty good round, this 10th round. You know, for McKinney, coming off the fight to Bungu, what a difficult fighter to face in Sanchez. He's a runner, a mover. He is a pecker who picks you apart. That's a good right hand. Again, on that abrasion underneath the left eye of McKinney.
Yeah, but Champ, he didn't see it that way. He thought he was a light punching fighter who might be rusty. That's the way he analyzed and justified this matchup for him.
I promise, when you see a fighter outside of the ring looking in through those ropes, you look at him and you say, oh, I can beat this man. I know I can beat this guy. When you get in the ring, it is a different story. You're thinking to yourself, where's the fighter I saw the last time? The last time I saw him fight. The fighter that I knew I could beat when I came in here.
Acero Sanchez knew he could do that to the face of McKinney. He said it all along, and he's backed it up, and he's done it.
And he's really done it. His blood coming down from that abrasion. You get hit in the nose enough to begin to ameliorate the pain. Continuing on, hands down, moving forward. Something that McKinney said he was not going to do. He's not going to play into this trap of trying to sludge, stepping into Sanchez.
Oh, good straight right by McKinney.
He needs it.
And that has Acero Sanchez backing away and tentative. Yes, he needed that going into the 11th round and cut badly. Kennedy McKinney. Round number 11. Kennedy McKinney knows he has to turn the heat on in the last couple of rounds. Hector Acero Sanchez has accomplished what he meant to do, but there's still 2 rounds to go. And he knows he's up against one of the fiercest of warriors in the boxing game in Kennedy McKinney.
Yeah, McKinney comes off a round where he started slow, and Sanchez scored well at the early part of that 10th round, but then toward the latter part, McKinney had some nice right hands that stunned Sanchez.
Oh, the jab.
Oh, man, what
a
weapon. That jab is more of a power punch, but power punches from McKinney, the 1-2. They reminded McKinney between rounds, these are the championship rounds. Keep the pressure on and throw punches.
3 losses in 34 fights for McKinney. 2 of those coming to Vuyani Bungu, both in South Africa. One to lose his championship. and one in the rematch for the title, and the other loss in the courageous effort against Marco Antonio Barrera for the WBO title, a classic. 1996, no question, a candidate for fight of the year. Goes down to one of the fights of the 90s. Halfway through round number 11 in this 12-round USBA junior featherweight title fight.
A lot of head hunting tonight from McKinney. Slipping a lot of water over there in the corner. Sanchez, that was his own corner that he slipped in. I need to wipe some of that water up. Oh, good left hook. McKinney is scoring, but he's scoring with single punches. The reason he's doing that is because Sanchez is so hard to hit. Every time you hit him one time, he moves out of the way.
Sanchez getting low, taking away the target from McKinney, keeping his distance. 30 seconds to go in the 11th.
Body shot from McKinney that folded Sanchez in two.
Sanchez has been stopped only once in his 4 defeats, and that was back in 1991. Jose Garcia. That appears to be what Kennedy McKinney needs with 3 minutes left in the fight. Let's listen in to the Acero Sanchez corner.
Big fights now for the last round. Sabe que está perdido, viene a comerte. Viene con todito.
And in the McKinney corner.
Stay right there and keep that jab coming, keep that right hand going. But then 1, 2, 3 when he back up in the corner. 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 7, man. You know what I'm saying? Or double it. 1, 2, 7, 3. You know what I'm saying? But you got to double those shots when you back to the corners, man. Because all you're doing is backing up on the jab trying to counter. You know what I'm saying? This is the last one.
The 1, 2, 7, 2. In the corner over there, they are talking about the different punches. A lot of trainers assign punches to numbers so that the opponents can't copy these punches. If you hear a 1, 2, 7, 2, you don't know what punch is coming at you. But a lot of work in the corner of McKinney. Percy Richardson working on the cuts. They won't be a problem.
And what may 1, 2, 7, 2 be? Anything to look for? Can you tell?
The 1 is jab, 2 is the right hand, and maybe the uppercut. 3 is usually the hook. 7 may be the uppercut.
I think it's the knee.
The kick.
The knee.
Well, that's what he may need at this point. I don't know. Some trainers call different numbers for those punches. But in boxing, the basic 1, 2, 3 is the jab, right hand, and left hook.
Sanchez was told in his corner, encouraged that you're winning big, just don't let up. Continue the good work.
And it has been good work from him.
His fans from Santo Domingo cheering him on in the background. National hero from the Dominican Republic is Acero Sanchez, trying to ascend once again to another world title shot. And he has come in and followed the fight plan to a T. Kenny McKinney, after losing the title just a month ago in a tough fight, disputed split decision in South Africa, coming back to try to put himself in position for another world title fight.
You know, in this sport, power rules, and we give so much freedom to fighters who are aggressive sometimes. But this is a terrific example of a boxer who has been effective all night. Sanchez has done a wonderful job of scoring and then moving. He has made it an interesting fight because he has drawn McKinney in to his boxing ability. Oh, good right hand from McKinney. McKinney really reaching in to try to score that right hand. Well, good right hand from Sanchez.
Just remains elusive. Now he gets that jab up, triples up on it. McKinney has been cut under the eye since midway in the fight. And just not able to completely get off against the boxing acero Sanchez. They said we're going to give McKinney a boxing lesson. Work everything off the jab. And there is the final bell. Both arms go up. Both like to think they won. There is the contingent behind the corner of acero Sanchez, who is hoist into the air and feels that he will be going on to another world title shot after this one tonight. Tuesday night fights on USA. We are ready for the decision. Here is Ed Darian.
From the medieval times here in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, I've got the scoring, and here it is. Judges Joseph Pasquale and Melvina Lathan each score 117-111. While Judge Shafiq Rashada has it 115-113, all for the winner by unanimous decision. And still, the USBA
Oh my, put him down.
Kennedy
McKinney on the judges' cards in a stunner here. In unanimous decision, two judges seeing it by a wide margin, and they are hearing it from the crowd.
Wow.
Retains that USBA title and really guarantees him a world championship fight. Acero Sanchez is stunned. I think they're going to ask them to check those cards again to see if it was read correctly. Incredible. Hector Acero Sanchez, who did everything he said he wanted to do, felt he had pulled it off, and even with the cards 117-111 sounded right in that corner. Kennedy McKinney survives again.